So, what happens when egos, emotions, and expectations collide in relationships? Well, today we'll be diving into the complexities of relationships with the ever-electric hype man and media entrepreneur, Do2dtun, the energy god, and entertainer, Bovi Ugboma. It's Masculinity and Relationship Unfiltered.
Anyway, welcome to Mentality with Ebuka. Like I always say, this is not an interview. It's not a panel. It's just men having open, honest conversations. And you're welcome to listen in. And I'm here with Bovi.
Yes, sir.
And Do2dtun. And of course, my co-host Banky is here.
In the building. So now we're the outside now.
I want to start with a bit of a kind of a personal story, because a lot of men don't talk about when women have shown them shaggy. You know, it's almost like men are usually the ones who attempt to be that way. And I remember in uni, I got my biggest shaggy on Valentine's Day. I was my final year in uni. I think she was about 3 years after me. I liked this girl. We're not in a formal relationship, but we're... Anyway. Valentine's Day, I bought...
It's a safe space. It's just us.
Yeah.
Just us.
This is what was supposed to be.
Feel free. Meant.
Valentine's Day, you know, my capacity as a young university student, I had bought all the things I could. Perfume, cake, flower, you know. And she was supposed to meet me up at a bar for a date, and then I would give her the things. And I was there from about 4 p.m. till like 9. And it was all, I'm coming. And so I gave the impression that I had left the things with the people there because I couldn't wait anymore, and she can come pick it up. And then she shows up in a car. And then she sees me, is like, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you know what, okay, I just have to leave. Just come and take the things. And I helped her take the things to the car. I noticed she was a little hesitant about me helping her to the car.
Because her uncle.
And then I got to the car and I opened the back seat. And then I saw the actual Valentine gifts. My own was. So she had basically spent the day with
the real Val.
And you can even see the difference in the quality of the gifts that I had. I think it was my first demon arc in life. Because I was like, okay, so this is how this works, you know. But these are the kind of things that, as a guy, you probably never tell your guys, because they must laugh you.
Yeah.
As people are laughing now. And these are why men don't talk about these things. So I guess just, you know, I don't know if anybody has personal stories, maybe not this crazy, but...
For me, I had this idea of, you know, pouring in so much, and I don't even mind being burnt. That was the type of relation. That's how I was open to relationships, because I was from a very liberal home. I mean, extremely religious. Dad from Ondo State. Mom is deeper life. So all those things were not. Relationships was kind of vague to me. So I felt like, I mean, the more you put in, the more you sacrifice, you get back. I mean, I had the same... And my first heartbreak was in my first year in the university. So this was crazy, because in my own case, there's a course we used to do called typewriting. So I carried a typewriter for her with mine, small me, downstairs waiting for her. But 5 minutes, 10 minutes, she didn't show up. So I went upstairs and I saw my girlfriend at the time kissing my... So the weird thing is, this guy eventually became my close friend along the line. But it was my guy, you know, somebody in school at the time. And I think that was the first shock to me. But, you know, then I still told myself that, no, it's not happening. So even after what I saw, I still continued. And then people are like, brother, you're a stupid guy. You're just a second figure in all of this thing. I mean, it took me a while for me to get it. But then it still seemed like it didn't make sense to see that. But like, I mean, but why were they kissing? You know, and question just the answer question, jam question. I mean, they answer the question, jam question, answer the question. So I just felt, but then I realized that I still I was fine with okay, I saw it, then maybe she could still change or feel like pick me. Then it felt like I was in a competition and anything. And then I took the same phase into 200 level, and then it started to dawn on me like, bro, you're not the main guy. I Jamba, they give me, and then, going into university at the time, it felt like freedom for me. So having a girlfriend, because secondary school, I don't really, they just pay you guys up in a slum book and say, oh, who are you crushing on? You're writing the book and you hide it. And then, but then it felt real, dating someone. And then that was my first encounter. And that guy eventually became my friend.
At the time, why do you think she did that? Did he have like a status or did he have more money?
First of all, yeah, he did at the time. He still does. But I mean, at the time, it was like, I did mass communication in school, so it was one of the first guys that stepped into that space. So in that way, you're already working for a TV station or a big TV station. Okay. Then so it felt like, hey, and me at the dance. And at the time, dance made no sense because so to refer to it that guy with the break dance. So that's right. So it didn't feel well, and she was more. With women and men, the dynamics is pretty simple. They kind of move faster than you. And then I think at the time, it felt like, on that level, the thinking, how I process information and the status or the circle was not, I wasn't fitting into it at the time. Yeah. I was just that guy who comes to school, who everybody knew as, the guy who can dance in school and that's it. What else to it? Bruh, there was nothing more to it. So
what did that do to you? That
to be honest, those kind of things for me can break you because then it took me a while to understand that I was a stupid one, actually. But for me, over time, it took me a lot of heartbreaks to realize that, sometimes as much as you want to pour into people, they have to be able to give back 100% as well. So, it's still a learning process for me. But I also now realized I was more aware of myself, understanding that maybe I give so much, and then even I don't receive, I kind of feel it's still okay because I'm also sacrificing. And then you realize that it only now depends on who you are doing that with, because then that person needs to acknowledge you as a person, understand that this person is pouring into me, and and this is a sacrifice.
You keep saying pouring into me, and I'm just trying.
It's crazy, but I'm
trying not to picture
pouring. So the thing is,
I apologize.
You know when you pour to the point that you feel like
don't mind him.
Don't mind Ebuka.
Bovi's the one I just pointed.
So that's it for me. But it took me a while to understand that sometimes it's not.
How to protect
if you see
yourself.
these things, just keep it moving,
Yeah.
So
I asked the question about the status and everything because I find that with my own situation as well. I mean, we all knew that, okay, money is important, right? But it was probably the one time that I know that it became apparent to me that this transactional relationship conversation that happens is actually real. But there's also a perception that now is probably more evidence. I don't know if social media is the reason why, because every time you log on Twitter, every other day is if you go on the date, who is supposed to pay? It's almost like everything is about, you always hear what are you bringing to the table, what is the table, and all of that. And I just wonder, has this always been the case? And at what point did it become what seems like now the norm? Almost like love is second, but more, as a man, what are you bringing outside of love? I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you are. I think that it's funny, but most men have the moment that you described where this happened to me and then I became like this. Yeah. So most men, we've been training in rejection our whole lives because as a man, as a young boy, you are trying to work up the nerve to go and talk to a girl to, either dance with you or be a Valentine or whatever. And that can go either really good or really terrible. And it is then now your reaction to those moments where, you approach a girl and she has somebody who has more money than you, or she just doesn't like you, or whatever the case may be. I think my original heartbreak story.
Your villain origin.
See, my villain, that's the word I was looking for. My villain origin story. I think I was just about in university or just finished and was, getting my first job. And there was this girl who I felt like head over heels for at the time. And the guy is not even as fine as my wife now, so I don't know what it is. And I need to say that, Susu, nobody is as fine as you.
Disclaimer.
Let's be clear.
But you know, there was this girl that I was really into. And I think for a guy at that younger age, that means a lot. When a girl that you're really into finally like gives you the time of day.
Acknowledges you. Yeah.
So you're almost like, oh man, you know, trying to do everything to make it work. And then I ended up in this very toxic relationship with this girl where I was always the one, you know, apologizing or begging. It didn't matter what she did. I would, you know, she knew that she had me wrapped around her finger. And so, you know, this cycle kept repeating itself. And, you know, maybe there were other guys who had more money in the picture that I was just too blinded by love or infatuation to see. But this day, we'd had a fight. She'd done something wrong. I don't remember what it was. But again, I was not, you know, a day or two had passed. I was like, okay, well, yeah, let's talk. So I'm calling. She doesn't answer the phone. So I drive to her apartment. And, you know, she's still not picking the phone. I'm like, I'm outside. I know she's in there. She's doing this thing that she'd always do that would just make me beg and beg and beg. And, you know, so I actually, you know, I walk up to her door. I'm like, you know, I'm at the door, da-da-da. And then one of the neighbors called police because I was in America at the time. And the next thing I know, American police show up and say, sir, can you step aside, please? I say, what? They said, you know, what are you doing here? Can we see your ID? You know, and you see them, you know, they have one hand on the
ready.
I say, how am I going to explain to my mother and my father? They say, what happened to him? Police shot him. He said, he was looking for a woman. Is that what they sent you to go and do? So the police, you know, said, you know, okay. So I explained the situation to them. Credit to them, they were very nice. And they said, oh, you know, if your girlfriend doesn't want to talk to you, you can't just wait outside her door. That please go when she wants to talk to you.
But there was a time that they taught us persistence.
Baba, see, as I was heading home, I told myself, I will never be in this kind of position. I will never allow a woman. So you make these kinds of unholy vows where you're like, I will never. So and
because
then I went
that one,
because of that moment where a girl broke your heart or chose somebody richer or whatever the case may be. And then that now results in, for me, it was like years of bad behavior where I would just wouldn't get into a relationship. I just wouldn't allow myself be vulnerable enough because I didn't want to put myself in that position again. But then you realize that for you to even, you have to heal from that to be able to have a functional marriage or relationship down the line.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think every man has the villain, or every man that's become a villain has a villain origin moment.
But a lot of women believe not every man does. They think men are just wired that way. And that's what I wanted to, that's why this conversation is important. I don't know if Bovi has that, but it's like most women just believe men are that way. But maybe because we never tell whatever
everything starts from something. There's always a ripple effect.
Started that. But when you were talking about, you know, you waiting, there was a time, I believe, maybe our father's era or back in the day when they tell you, don't worry, be persistent. Consistency, she will fall eventually. Today you're called a simp or, you know, a creep. It's almost like once they say no, you have to go. But then I also say something that imagine he didn't even try. So I feel like the dynamics of what it means to be in a relationship now, even dates, is so different. I don't know whether it has even changed from when like you got married to now. It feels like. But even from our parents' eras, it's so different now, the way men are supposed to approach a relationship.
I think more than ever before, it varies very much now, unlike before, you know, which is why you have to respect the personality involved or understand the personality. Some men are ideal lovers, which means they will come soft, they will come nice, they will listen to your stories, they will spend time with you, you know, they will respect you. Some men are rakes by birth. So they are forceful. They want what others have. They want what seems out of their league. And they are not necessarily emotional people. They are, how will I call them? Like, they come like Casanovas. So they may flirt with everybody, but who they want, they go for. And they don't see obstacles. There are women who like those kind of men. Some men are dandies. I remember one of my comedy sets, I actually described you as a dandy because one time...
Okay, you're about to find out.
A dandy, according to the 48 laws of power, the examples they give, a dandy is very stylish. The way they dress, everything. A dandy will use a $1 bill or $100 bill to light his cigarette. Everything about them is about everything. So there's the lighter. Instead of putting the lighter straight to the cigarette, they will light the lighter, put fire on the money.
That's what I am.
At the time.
Banky, those days in the club, Banky would find somewhere and stand. I don't know if it was deliberate, but he would just be there nodding his head. And that's Banky W, So those are some of the
king of Lagos.
Thank God for Jesus.
And the thing, you notice him.
Yeah.
You will. So I think it depends on the individual in the game.
I agree.
The question should rather be, what is a woman's ideal type of man? When they can answer that, then you will see they will pick these different type of men. There are women who tell a guy, sorry, I can't date you. It's not going to happen. And the guy's response is, so when we start dating, we will travel in the first month. It's like he's not hearing.
Yeah.
But this is what I have to give you.
That fascinates some women. Now, if an ideal lover goes to that woman and she says, sorry, I can't date you and all, and he's like, well, okay, I really like you, but we'll see, and chickens out, she wouldn't like it. She'll be like, man, this guy is a simp.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it boils down to individual and personality types. Yeah.
Do you think money, what do you think is more important today? I mean, you're not Gen Z, you're not young, you're not old, but just your reading of the way the dating scene now, because a lot of young people complain. What do you think de facto more importantly now, money or love?
In Nigeria, money. Not like love is a constant. You get what I'm saying? Love is a constant, but you must take your environment into consideration. This is a patriarchal society, which means men will find more opportunities quicker than women, which means men will be tended to more than women. I drive to restaurants with my wife, and most of the time they come for my door. Most of the time they greet me only. So when you understand it, the women are at a disadvantaged position more often than not. So money is important, but the truth is, it is only just coming to light now because of social media. Money has always been important. Even when parents used to choose who their kids would marry, they would go for the richer suitor. It didn't start even with our parents. It started with our forefathers back then. In the early years, men used to fight. It was about power,
strength.
People
will get flogged. You know that
there's some where they flog you and
they flog them. So money and power goes together. Basically, if you have money, you have a measure of power. Money is very important because.
But aren't there people who don't have money that still get married and fall in love and all of that?
I guess that's where now this might come off your status, right? They've always told men, don't punch above your weight. And some of these conversations I also see, some girls or ladies would say, well, I mean, you saw me before coming, so come and toast me, right? We are attracted to what we're attracted to for sure, but you're going to find love, unfortunately, I guess, in your space. Nothing wrong with punching above your weight. But like Bovi said, it just comes across now that a lot of relationship dynamics are tied around what the man is coming with materially.
So is there no place for a woman seeing a man that she believes has the potential?
That's money too. Yeah. That's money that hasn't manifested. Absolutely.
But the potential for what? Money?
That's,
I guess.
Yeah. So, see, I think women are designed for comfort.
I don't want this
Women are designed for comfort. Women need to be comfortable.
But I'm also designed.
So that's I mean, if you're comfortable, you are secure to a large extent.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying the person must be a millionaire or billionaire. I'm just saying that you have to provide.
So my argument is that it has to be more than just financial provision. For your status as a father, as a husband, yes, that's important. And the reality is we're in a time when women are more educated than ever, they're more empowered than ever. So then what happens to a successful woman who the pool of men that she has to choose from to date? I mean, I'm not in the dating pool. I don't know which of us can speak to that, but it feels like the pool of men that they have to date from is shrinking.
Well,
right? But I just find that provider tag,
bro,
I don't want to say problematic, but it feels like that's what it is, because a lot of us, it's ingrained. As you grow up, you know, okay, this is my job.
So that's why, to be honest, for me, if we're going to speak about provision or this whole process, it goes back to who you're dating, to be honest, because that's when the conversation starts. I believe that most times people don't have difficult conversations till we get to this point. And this conversation starts with, what are you bringing? What am I bringing? What do you do? How do you want to do this and all that? And that's why, to be honest, like I said, the truth is now getting too obvious in the dynamics of marriages these days, because it's clear most of the marriages you see that are broken up or for whatever the relationships is linked to finances.
Would you say most? I would actually argue that communication is the biggest
I hear it's actually finances.
See, finances?
I don't have the data, but I've heard
always, that. Okay, so this might sound crazy.
Because that's interesting.
This might sound crazy. No matter how we want to see this, everybody likes money. We all love money. Now, the thing is, it now brings us to the idea of understanding wife. You know, because women feel if they go through all that journey with you, would you hold me down? Because, I mean, we've seen cases where women will be with you through all of that, and then at the end of the day, it gets to the time that you're supposed to fix, and then things happen. So I feel like for me, there's a missing link in the conversation that needs to start before we get to this point. And that goes back to what Bovi said. It still depends on who you're with. It depends on who your partner is.
We're talking, I mean, we're going to have an episode coming up later on friendships and all, but, you know, I've always wondered what the bro code looks like or what it means to guys. You know, there's a belief that bro code is about covering up for your guy. Is it a conversation that men have? Women always ask, you know, when your guy was doing this thing, what did you say to him? They say, we always say, oh, our wife. She's always our wife, you know. Do you feel complicit? I guess that's my question. If your guy is cheating, do you feel complicit if you don't tell?
It depends on how he's cheating. Why should you even tell in the first place?
You say it depends on how he's cheating.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I know that if a guy is being very reckless, you know, and he's close to you as a friend, if his behavior endangers your own peace at home, it's up to you to call him to order. Like, bro, come on.
That's a valid point.
You know,
when you want to enter your own market.
Yes, you get what I'm saying. You can't be like maybe in the same church with your friend and then he's picking up girls on the streets at night. You'll be like, hey, what's going on here?
But is it only when it affects your peace at home that you would...
Absolutely. Well, let me not say absolutely.
If it's not, it has nothing to do with your own peace in your house?
You need to understand that people are wired differently.
Fair.
Then, generally speaking, women are wired different from men. So, there are things we understand as men that women will never understand, and vice versa. There are things about women that men may never really understand. That's why it's a very difficult topic. You guys are men. I'm sure you can agree to the fact that a man can be intimate with a woman today and forget her name tomorrow.
Facts.
Do you agree?
Do you agree?
Do you think women can be that way?
Hardly. They are not wired that way. Women are wired. Before a woman gives you her body,
I agree with you that men are that way.
I think the layers
I don't know that all men are that way, but I know. I mean,
with discipline,
guys can't
those
be that
things
way
change.
So.
Yeah, but I think a woman has several layers before she, gives her body out.
I don't agree.
Oh, trust me. Generally speaking,
you don't think women? So you think every time a woman cheats, there's a process.
It takes a so the thing is,
Depends again.
for a man, men do things based on, to be honest, like I would say this, sometimes, I mean, we do it for the most stupid reasons.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I'm just saying, because it just might be simplest of conversations like, oh, you can't get that girl. That's it. It's not even for, sometimes, listen, it can be based on just scoring points and just doing it. With a woman, with a woman, it takes a process. They have to think about it. They have to, absorb it before. A man can actually cheat with a woman now, not even remember her name. Because sometimes it just might be based on, it's just based on the fact that sometimes,
The same question I
do you know the truth? The weird thing is, sometimes you ask a man and say, they don't mind the reason why they just did it. They just did it because, the
girl.
yeah, that's it. And it is what it is.
But doesn't that signify a deeper problem of a lack of commitment on the part of the man?
Absolutely.
If he can just...
To be honest, like I said, I understand that, but we're speaking based on, this conversation is based on how, I'm not saying how most men think, but I'm saying is what's more obtainable now, generally. Because the thing is, sometimes you won't ask a man why he did it. He doesn't have a reason why he wouldn't cheat.
Even women too.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, for a woman to go the farthest, it takes...
Yeah.
And also, you can also come to the idea of the society of how they play. When a woman does certain things, the way they are castigated compared to a man. It almost seems like what a man does is normal compared to it. But to be honest, like I said, everybody's be judged based on the same standard. So that's why it kind of seems like for a woman to get to that point, they have to also have to think about it because they don't want to be castigated by the society, how they
But even the man who is doing that, is women he's doing it with.
Absolutely.
So are we saying that every woman that the man that is doing that finds...
That's why I said I didn't really...
Nine out of every 10 women that is dating a man who's in a relationship, if you 9 out of 10 are ready to move in as one and only in that relationship.
Really?
What's your reference, bro? Trust me.
I'm just saying.
So you think every side chick
is ready to...
is potentially ready?
I don't even like the term side chick.
Is it...
I don't...
Going
What would you call it?
Someone you're in a relationship with, in another relationship with, and vice versa. Those terms, you get what I'm saying? Because of the connotation they now attract, is not ideal.
The only reason I said I was a little... I pushed back a bit to what you were saying is, today, like we all said, we're not necessarily in the dating scene. Okay, I don't know if Do2dtun is. But
we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah. But I get the sense that today, maybe we've underestimated what women do or what they're capable of doing. I see a lot of things being very, oh yeah, I did it. And even back in the day, a lot of us either did or know people who had one night stands. Often, you go club, you jam the babe, she also might not necessarily remember you. I feel like we underestimate, maybe when we're talking about committed relationships now, when you now get to committed relationships and the women are a little less flippant with how they operate. But I want to ask you the same question. Do you call out your guy or would you call out your guy? Or do you think it's your duty?
To be honest, there's this saying where, and I want to link it to something very simple, which is also a general conversation where they'll tell you don't involve yourself in anything that concerns couples. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, as much as we want to say this, there are some women that don't even want to hear the truth. So for me, like I said, I'm also with the same school of thought that if it affects, especially maybe when I'm friends with the person, and I know we don't want to put in the same box because there's always this thing, you be Do2dtun friend, and the same thing Do2dtun does. You self. That means you guys are in the same...
by association.
Yeah, and I also want peace at home. But first of all, what comes to me is I save myself, I save my home first, So I don't want to put in the same box. That's when I can say, me, I know say they do this one. I
agree with you. I think a lot of guys are this way.
I'll be honest, bro.
If we're being honest with ourselves, a lot of guys...
Bro code
I also think that
is not my... I would not make it... It's not my business if it doesn't affect my peace and my home.
So what's the problem?
I also think that there's a lot of nuance because I think that it depends on the relationship the guys have with each other.
I'm talking of your guy.
If it's your guy,
My guy.
Yeah.
chances are you will check your guy if you see him but you will not
Go on.
publicly, you won't have that conversation with other people.
But so checking your guy, are you telling him,
guy, what are you doing?
are you saying stop it or
Yes.
be careful, maybe they don't catch you?
No, you say stop. I mean, I guess it depends on
It also depends on your value system.
Tennessee, they watch.
See, it depends on your, because
I think it depends on your own value system.
You can't impose your value system on
somebody else.
But then isn't your value system supposed to align with your guy? If someone is your guy.
No, not necessarily. Listen,
they're not born on the same day.
I can't be having a party and you come with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
Instead of your wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will talk to you that, come on. There are guys who introduce their wives to their girlfriends and say, we're just doing business, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying? Those ones are, in fact, I'm afraid of people like that. Like,
you have to be afraid, but
Your
you
leader
can't do that. There's nothing he can't do.
Exactly. So I just feel I'm not going to tell people what to do. I'm not going to tell people what works for them or what is wrong or what is right. Because it's their life, number one. Number two, I don't know if I should say this, but, I personally feel monogamy is a social construct. You get what I'm saying?
Valid point. Finish your point. Because I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation earlier with someone before we came on here about this monogamy thing.
Right.
And I was like, in 10 years, do you think monogamy could be going extinct? We're living in times now where a lot of phrases and terms are becoming normal. Polyamory, poly this, poly that. And everybody's cheating. Okay, maybe not everybody.
Not everybody.
There's this perception that, let me phrase it. There's a perception that everybody's cheating. There's even a perception that Lagos women cheat more than their husbands. I don't know if you've heard that. There's, forget what the women are doing.
I heard that too.
So it's like, are we really going to continue to pretend to be in this is it ethical or non-ethical monogamous situation?
This is my honest response, and you guys can disagree with me if you want. But I think I push back when we make generalistic statements and say everybody's cheating. Lagos women are like this. Nigerian men are like that. You are casting a blanket assumption on everybody. Yeah. And the danger with that is not only are you making everybody guilty by association, you're also shaping expectations for your children and for the generations coming after you to say, this is how it is. And they may now grow up believing that counterfeit suggestion, that lie to say, this is how it always has to be and this is what I have to put up with. I don't believe that monogamy is impossible. But my caveat is that it is possible with God. And we were having a conversation off air about...
Even without God, monogamy is very possible.
This is my experience, right? Yeah. So when there's God in the picture, you answer to a higher authority, and that helps you say, there's some lines that I'm not going to cross.
Right.
And that's, for those of us that subscribe to that, that's what we believe, and it becomes a lot easier to do. So when we make these statements to say, everybody's cheating, Lagos women are like this, Nigerian men are like that, I think we are making unfair assumptions and accusations about an entire group of people, and it's just not true.
It's not fair either.
It's not fair, and it's not
but
true.
The first one that you cancel is men are scum. That first one first.
I see the shirt now. You don't see the shirt.
See, that men are scum needs to be... Okay, so now, if we're not link it to your statistics, it's the other way around. Because I was expecting to say, they say more men cheat.
You know
it's
the
not
crazy
the same
thing?
As what you read out right now.
Maybe the men that they polled lied.
But you know the crazy thing? I was right before we went on a small break, I was looking up, because we were talking about how, I think it was you that made the statement that finances are the biggest factor of, in the split of marriages. And according to the research, I used ChatGPT, but according to what most surveys say, it's not finances. Guess what? It's not even infidelity. It's lack of commitment. It's two people that get into a marriage and they kind of give up on the marriage. They stop investing in it. They stop communicating. They stop dealing with issues. They just kind of coexist and they check out mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And that's actually because things like finances, all these other issues that we have, if you are committed to the marriage, you will work on those things. But if you subconsciously give up on it and you throw in the towel, it's just a matter of time before you actually... That's why they say, when you check the divorce papers, when they say, what's the reason? They say what? Irreconcilable differences. It's not as simple as saying, oh, he has money, he doesn't have money anymore, or she cheated on me, or whatever the case may be. It's usually a deeper symptom that you've not been able to work on.
Yeah.
And it shows up. Infidelity may not just... It can be a fruit, not the root.
Yeah.
So there could be something else that's wrong, that's now, showing itself in that way.
Links. This actually just grows into all of these things you're saying. Once you're not committed, it grows into many.
It'll show itself in different things.
It does, yeah. It does.
I wanted to go back to, because I hear you on the whole monogamy of things and what should be, and this idea that we all should be committed and all of that. But I also want to acknowledge the times we live in and how different it was from back in the day. We've had this conversation before where your dad married a friend's daughter, whatever it is, or someone he met in school. But then what was available for the longest time to him was people he met at work, people down the streets, or the odd lady at church. Yeah. Today, what I feel is threatening monogamy more than anything is, and I use this word loosely, the availability of
options.
You open up your social media, the third slide is something you're like, oh,
yeah.
These are things that are in your face. And you meet a lot of younger people today who tell you, why should I be committed to this person when... And I guess it goes both ways, male and female. I don't want to generalize, like you said, but the availability of options has changed what monogamous relationships should look like. So people are now trying to fit into, okay, I may be polyamorous, I'm a polygamist, I don't know if that is...
It's a dangerous level of opening of the mind.
So and that brings me to, and this might sound a bit crazy too, do you still subscribe to the traditional way of building relationships?
What is it?
So let me explain what I mean. Coming to what you're saying is we're more open-minded now. Everybody said we are moving with time, things have changed. But you realize also that my question is, okay, why did most of our parents work? Is it because they did things traditionally? Or because the truth is, like I said, as much as we want to talk about the advent of social media and other things that have kept our mind more open, it's because we also left so many things in the past that that our parents were used to, and somehow it worked for them. I'm not saying everything, but I felt like there were more better relationships or marriages, not better, but I feel like they stayed together regardless.
That regardless is the point.
Exactly. So my issue with that is, I think we need to be careful looking at marriages in previous generations with rose-colored lenses to say, back in the day, a man could be beating his wife black and blue, and they would tell the wife, just stay there. It's your
Pray
home.
for him.
Pray for him. It's okay. I'm sorry. If you are the victim of domestic violence, pack your bag and go. Leave. Because when you die, everybody will now turn to a had I known situation. So I think we need to be careful saying that, in our parents' time, they stayed together regardless. And they were dealing with all kinds of abuse and mistreatment. And it's not just physical abuse, it could be emotional abuse. Word wounds can be as dangerous as physical blows, right? But they would just put up with it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we should settle for saying, let's stay together regardless. We should settle for saying, we're going to stay together and we're going to work on being better people.
Okay.
To make sure that it's a functional, healthy, happy home than just saying we stay together for staying together's sake. And then you have two people that grow up and they're miserable and there's resentment and they can't stand each other and they're on each other's necks. And that's no way to live. Marriage is something that we should enjoy, not endure.
Absolutely. So that means that it can be open-mindedness,
offering time,
but with discipline. Open-mindedness, but still with discipline.
With discipline, with commitment, with integrity, with the idea that I'm going to work on myself and I trust that you will do the same. And both of you, the husband and the wife, the spouses are working together on themselves and working on the marriage.
And in the event that one person doesn't work on themselves, you can bounce.
Well, I think there's nuanced situation. Like, personally, there's certain things like domestic violence, for instance. I don't think anybody should remain in it, no matter what.
True that.
Nobody should stay where they are beating you. Yes. I disagree with that completely. And there are pastors that will argue otherwise. But I disagree completely. There's no, even in the Bible, when Jesus was talking about why Moses granted people or permitted people to get a divorce, he said it was permitted because of the hardness of your hearts. So you have situations back then when men were mistreating women, whether it's abuse or just neglecting them and going to get second and third wives. And God is like, if you are going to treat your wife like this, please,
let her go.
I don't like divorce, but let her go. So somebody can treat her the way she deserves to be treated. So I think there are things that we should say unequivocally. If you are in this situation, please leave. For your safety and safety of your children, pack your bag and go.
I hear you, and I completely agree with you. I just keep looking at what the world looks like today, and how, whether it's technology or the way people are interacting less. I saw a stat here that freaked me out. I think it's from Data Policy or Date Policy. 45% of men today aged 18 to 26 report that they've never approached a woman in person for dating. So this is the culture today. Everybody's online. Online dating is a thing. People are not having real life interactions with women to even understand what it feels like to. So when you're in that, and that is what the world is, and it might even get crazier, whether we like it or not. So you're talking about everybody putting in the work to make this marriage work. For them, it's like, why should I put in the work? What they're seeing. But I guess that's why these conversations are important, so that they can also understand that, marriage is not a bad thing, but you just need to put in a little more.
The work in marriage is, the ultimate work in marriage is the work you do on yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because marriage your partner will help you amplify your flaws.
Yeah.
They will show you where all your injuries are.
Yeah.
So you just have to work on yourself. And the other person.
I also think...
Even whatever you figure out while you're, working on yourself, I always say this, marriage would trigger so many things. The bad habits, the things you have, or things maybe you guys are working on, which once you get married, once you can't fix it while you guys are dating, it's harder to fix when you're in a marriage. It just brings out even the worst out of those.
That's why you must work on yourself.
So you have to.
If somebody walks in this room now and says to the four of us, you people are bastards, your mama, says all the horrible things, the first person to react is the person that is injured from his past. Someone who's not injured like that will be like, is he okay? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in marriage, these are the things that come to the fore. Just understand that those things that really piss you off may be pointing to an injury, an unresolved trauma.
I also think that there's an obsession that we have with getting married and not being married. So in other words, most romantic movies end at the proposal or at the wedding.
Yeah.
In societies, when a wedding happens, it's the outfits, it's the bridal train, it's the this, it's the that. It's like the wedding is the performance of the wedding day. And we spend more focus and more energy on weddings than we do on the actual marriage. So you see two people that are getting together, they say that they're getting married. Have you done premarital counseling? No. Have you talked about this? No. Have you, and then we rush into these things. And now, because the stigma on divorce is less, as quickly as people rush into it, they're rushing out. And I think part of the problem is we're not putting the weight on just being spiritually, emotionally, and mentally ready for that lifelong commitment.
Yeah.
And
if you got married, right? You went through counseling and stuff like that. And then a month into the marriage, your partner says, I want to tell you a secret. In my family, we are killers. We just have the urge to kill. We've killed about 18 maids. Even my mom taught me.
This is a very extreme scenario that you're painting.
Will you remain?
Big question.
Well, I think
I won't. Sorry.
I will run. I will run.
you need to be, first of all, this is a very extreme picture that you've painted. And are you saying that your wife herself is a killer?
Yeah, she's ultimately telling you that she has hidden bodies as well.
That one is hard.
But she's changed now.
But these things, but she's changed now. But these things exist.
So my problem is that you've painted a once in a trillion years picture. That is not the reality of most people. I painted an animated picture. There are more horrible stories. Yes, but most people are not going to find out that they are sleeping next to an assassin. And I think
what of a ritualist? What of a ritualist?
Okay, fine. But I think that we're better served addressing what most marriages will not split because one of the spouses is a hired killer. Most marriages will split because of lack of commitment or because of communication or because of infidelity or finances. That's where the reality of most people in the world who end up in marriages that don't work, that's where it is. So yes, in that extreme scenario, yes, we'll all pack our bag and run. But
that's why I want us to talk about. Sorry, that's why I want us to talk about. There are other things that should make you bolt from a marriage.
Sure, absolutely.
I remember reading something on Dang, and the lady said her baby would be crying. She would be wondering what's wrong with the baby. Come out. One day she set a camera. Or she peeped when she was in the shower and saw that the husband would check, nobody's looking at her.
His own kid?
Yeah. What? Slap!
Yeah.
And pretend like, come on, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. Are you going to stay in that kind of marriage?
No, of course not. No, of course not. Of course not. Of course, that goes without saying.
So I'm just saying, beyond communication, because some of these people are very good communicators.
You find things out as you go along.
Beyond infidelity.
No, there are definitely more things.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the
I just want to put it.
We have
Sorry.
Move ahead.
I want us to move on, but I just wanted to put a pin on this conversation because I saw a tweet recently that said sugar mommies in Nigeria are a myth. I was talking about how we see all these posts about, married men buy things for girls or whatever, but have you ever seen a guy that a married woman spoils in lake?
I think it exists.
I know, I'm just telling you what the conversation was. So it brings me back to my point of it's either...
Why would you act like we don't know?
My point was, it's either they don't exist or they are just better at hiding it. Let's move away from that. I want us to go to what I want to talk about next is a conversation that even I don't know what it means, and it's submission. Mm-hmm. And it's a very...
The age-old debate.
It's the one thing that people hold on to. Yeah. Be submissive. And I've always wondered, what does that mean? Where does the line stop with this submission? Is it, oh God, I brought your food? Is it obedience? Is it respect? Because if we're equals, are you submissive? I don't know. I don't know what my opinion on it is.
The interesting thing about this submission conversation is that it's taken out of Ephesians 5, right? Which is like the chapter that Paul is addressing, Christian households, and he's saying this is how husbands should behave, this is how wives should behave. What people skip is they go right to wives, submit to your husbands. They forget that first he says, submit yourselves one to another.
That's it.
In reference to Christ. Ultimately, the work starts with you. Mm-hmm. I've done quite a bit of marriage counseling over the years, just playing the role I play in the churches that I've served in and all of that, and just, in life. Whenever I've sat down with a couple that are having problems and I say, what can be done better? Ask that question in a variety of ways, but what needs to improve?
Problem.
10 times out of 10, I have never sat down with a husband and a wife and they lead with, well, maybe I need to fix this, maybe I could do this better. They immediately have a laundry list of what the other person should be doing.
Yeah.
But the key to marriage working is that constant check between God and yourself to say, man, how can I be a better person? Mm-hmm. How can I work on me? Because if we each do that and just focus so much on what we can improve, the marriage will work. It's when it's this pride thing of saying, you need to do this or you didn't do that or this is how I like things or whatever. And that's really where the breakdown happens, is each person, instead of picking up a magnifying glass, pick up a mirror.
And look at yourself.
Say, where am I falling short?
Which is very hard to do.
It's hard, but
which is why I've been advocating for certain things to be broken down into subjects to be taught from nursery, primary, secondary, university. Feelings should be a subject.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. Personality type. These things should be a subject because the damage starts from home.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You're growing up in a home where the structure, the code, the family code is driven by fear, is defined by fear. But your pre-installed DNA is adventure. And they're like, behave yourself, sit down. What? You want to travel abroad? What are you thinking? Are you mad in this family? We go to school, we get good grades, we graduate, we get work, we grow in the service, we reach 65, we retire. But this kid is watching TV and is ignited by something else. So these are the battles people fight. Everything starts from back home.
Yeah, the family. And that's why we also need to address family patterns as well. Because the truth is, whatever works, when they say, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, sometimes you need to look at family patterns. You come into a system and you think you're the one that wants to change that. It won't happen. You know, I'm a living example of that. So you can't change some family patterns. You know, as a matter of fact, you can't fix certain things, or you cannot, it's not in your duty. Maybe they meet someone of their own type, then it can work. But sometimes, like I said, these are things we also need to always look into, family patterns. Sometimes, to be honest, no matter what you do, you can't change it.
That's why arranging marriage is the best.
That's why what?
Arranging marriage. Families that grow up with the same pattern.
Do you understand?
Yeah. More often than...
There's a song Indian comedian, I don't know if you know her, she's new, Zana Garg, that's her name. She's Indian and everything, and she's not advocating, but she tells a lot of jokes about how Indian marriages last more than American marriages, which is interesting because Americans, how does she put it? Americans date, get married and divorce, but they meet up and date through the marriage. There's a way she explained it. Arranged marriages exist more in India and they last longer than you guys have spent 8-9 years dating and then can't keep marriages. But I don't know can I ask you a personal question? Depends on the personal question. Are you dating again? Yes or no?
Just to add to what you're saying, there's a song by evangelist Ebenezer Obey that says, it means that the rich are friends with the rich, the poor are friends with the poor. Now, I mean, what he was trying to say at the time is simple.
Find your person. You know, there's a couples market in China.
Really?
Yes. Parents go there with pictures of their kids. I kid you not. I don't know if the market is the name.
Wow.
But yeah, it's in China. Parents go there with pictures of their kids and try to match with people who come with pictures. Oh, she's a doctor, she's 24.
That's fascinating.
She has a PhD in this, and she's single.
Mama,
she's never been married. I kid you not.
You go carry spare parts.
I saw this one. I saw the clip on YouTube. And then they're trying to trade off.
that market in...
I know the market is the word they use, but that's what it felt like. So they have a day, I think, every month or something where they all come there with pictures, and sort of try to hook their kids up with other people. But I was saying, are you currently dating? Because I want to find out if dating is different now. Because you were married.
So the way I see things now, I'm also coming from an angle where I've had a marriage that didn't work. So, I mean, I'm using the mistakes that I made then to formulate the one. To be honest, people...
So is this transactional thing true?
Transactional. So this is one thing I would say, right? I used to think from where I was, this is it. It might sound crazy.
Take your time.
I would say.
I'm here for you.
Sometimes based on what people show you, you think, oh, no, this one is a bit different or mild. They're not all about money and everything. But the truth is, let me not lie to you. It might sound crazy. Everybody loves money. Now, let me come back to what I understand. Transaction means that you also have to understand that as much as we love money, women love money too. So when you say transactional, it means that you bring in, saying a woman to tell you, I want to be with a man that has potential. That's money too, or you have value. Whatever it is that you're bringing to the table is either it is in cash or it is in value, meaning that, oh, as much as I can put up with you and I know that you have prospects or potential, it means that for some reason, another time in your life is going to go into something. What that means is, whether it's in physical cash, personality, to be honest, everything these days is transactional.
So, thank you for attempting.
So whether in potential, that's money. Because to be honest, it's not like.
Do you want to narrow it down?
No, I mean, he spoke my mind, right? You need to understand, because transactions is beyond money. It's wider than that. And when you look at the definition, you realize we all transact, including in relationships.
That are already existing. I want to pivot a little bit because there's a conversation I was having, and there's a belief that the roles of women over the years or decades has shifted. 1900s, 1800s, whatever century or decade you want to look at, women have been homemakers, take care of the home, but that role has continued to expand and shift. Women now are working. A lot of countries now, women are even more educated than the men. Women go to school more now. Women are holding office, corporate jobs. They're making money, sometimes out earning their husbands. But it looks like men have stayed where they've always been.
Yeah, I think evolving also in the same way the world has evolved, where women now have their own seat at the table in leadership, in business, across different sectors of society. The world has to, and probably has, in many cases, evolved to the point where men are now more involved in the home. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure that most people would say that in their grandparents and maybe their parents' generations, there were things in the home that the fathers just didn't do. So the fathers just saw their role as, I provide the finances, I provide for the home, and everything else your mother handles, right? So all the chores, all the things to do with the children, being there for the children. It's so funny, when my son started attending school, everything that the school would communicate, like they would be chatting with me on their WhatsApp or sending me an email, and they'll say, hello, mommy. Hello, ma. Hello, mommy. Hello, because they just expect. So at one point I had to be like, guys, at least say hello, mommy and daddy. Or, like there's some men that will be the ones to come for the meeting, or, and I think that that I've seen that in our generation's time, men have been more participatory in the house. And I think that's a positive that I've seen. It's not everywhere. And obviously in a place like Nigeria, where you have a whole army, working for you in your house, it's a little bit different. But when you travel out and all of that, where, hiring help is that much more expensive. If she's washing the dishes, you are sweeping the floor. If you are taking out the trash, she's making the bed. You are doing the laundry. You are going to the grocery store. Like you're sharing the responsibility.
I agree. A lot more men today are.
What if
doing?
Go ahead. What if your job requires, so much of your time?
Yeah, obviously. There are situations where you're just not able, and there are some situations where it might even be the wife's job that requires her time and she's traveling. Yeah. So I think that picture of what the home looks like is very individual. And so I think it's probably wisest for you to sit down with your husband and your wife and say, this is what works for us. In our own house rules. Me, I cook. I like it. Yeah. You don't like to cook. It works for us. For somebody else, that is a deal breaker. If my wife is not cooking for me,
there are people who say,
I'm not
only cook fresh meals every
day. Yeah. But there are people like that. And if it works for that husband and wife, then fantastic. I think feminism, the point of feminism is that let the woman have the right to say what she wants and do what she wants.
Many of the feminists don't even know this.
They don't know that. Some don't. It's not about saying. So, Mr. Easy and Temi just got married, and I don't pay attention to social media as much, but I did see that there was some chatter where some were like, "Oh, she has set feminism back. We're taking her husband's name." And I'm like, if she decides that that's what she wants to do, that's her choice. Feminism should support her ability to say, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. And you empower and you celebrate that. That's the point. And the power of it is saying what works for you, what works for our home.
So that's the point I'm trying to make now about, why a lot of men will tell you that they don't know what to do. There's a lot of confusion about what this thing should be. They will tell you, women say they want equality, but at the same time, they want you to be chivalrous. Open the door for me still. Oh, pay for the dinner when we go out together. Where's the equality in that? So a lot of men don't know what's...
Maybe, let me see how I can narrow this down in 2 minutes. You see, there's a peculiarity to our society. You need to understand that most of our parents saw the war. Those of us this age, they saw the war, even though they were very young. They experienced military rule in full. You get what I'm saying? Those things, when things happening outside of the home tend to limit a man, tend to belittle a man, he goes home and wants to be the man, wants to be the boss. Pre-colonial era, many men were working for the white man. When they went home, it was the opportunity to say, well, I'm the boss now. Are you understanding? And it made them not do many of these things that today men are doing, which is share responsibilities in the home. Because they've been so emasculated. They are serving the white man and serving the white man's children, stuff like that. So when they get home, they want to be boss. What they don't know is that when they leave for the weekend and go home, the white man is in the kitchen with his wife, cooking.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? He doesn't know that that's happening there. So our grandfathers or great-grandfathers were mean when they got home.
Yeah.
Because they had been...
So you are saying they were toxic men?
Not that they were toxic men. They were trying to gain their masculinity back. And they felt the way to do it was to sit down and say, serve me like this, do like this, don't talk
But that's coming back now.
But
that's what I was talking about with this online culture now of men having to take their masculinity back. It's becoming very intense.
So the thing is, everything...
That's why this conversation...
everything you see now started from the home. Every single thing you see with... So some people are lucky enough to find themselves in the right circle, and then maybe you learn along the line, you relearn, unlearn. That means luckily you had the opportunity. Sometimes you say, "Oh, I think the way my dad and my mom was, I don't want to be this way. I want to change my patterns and be better." Yeah. Which, to be honest, like I said, it takes a lot of level of emotional intelligence to even get there. What Bovi is saying is the truth is these are things that were a norm. So let me just break this down. They coming from the most basic thing as home chores, where there are things that they say go and change tire, and man they change tire, or they'll say no, woman don't change tire, or they say woman now you the wash place, now you go cook. I mean that's the norm. But now the thing is, you growing now and saying it's okay for me to cook for those things are learned individually. I'm not saying sometimes over time, but I'm saying that the pattern, using our generation, is always like, this is what the men should do, this is what the women should do. And then at the end of the day, all the ripple effect is the things that we've all picked up.
In continuation, like I said, so our great-grandfathers, our fathers that experienced stuff like that, when they spoke to their children, they told them things like, stand up, you're a man, don't bend for a woman.
Why you don't cry? Why you crying?
Why you crying? You get what I'm saying? And then pass it down from generation to generation. So, yes, it has its bad sides.
There are things that as a man now, you make decisions on. You pay for certain things because it's your duty as the head of the house. I like the word you used there, emasculation, which is what we've talked about a lot today. How many men are able to handle it where the woman oh, I'm trying to pay for, oh, don't worry, I've handled it. That's not disrespect, but she's handled it. Right? Because she knows it should be handled. She can handle it. She's able to afford it more than you are. And so my point is, do you have to keep deferring?
Can I tell you what
when you know that you're making the right decision?
So I can answer within the auspices of my own experience and what I believe. So in our home, there's no my money and her money. It's our money, right? So that scenario won't really present itself in our home because it's our money. So whether it's originated from money that I earned that we're using to pay for it, or it's money that she earned that we're using to pay for it, it's our money, and those things are joint decisions. Those things are made in communication with each other. So there's really no scenario where you're like, I've already handled it, don't worry about it. Like, we know because that's...
You didn't say it like that.
No, but we know because we communicate it.
Yeah, because you...
I'm saying she's not dismissive. She's like, babe, don't worry about it.
But some of them are.
But some are.
Yeah.
But she's still loving.
But she's handling shit. Criticized me for that owner's corner thing. And...
Really? Okay, it criticized you how? I'm curious.
Oh, Bovi's wife controls him. She sits in the owner's corner.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the truth is, if I'm riding with any of you, three of you, I will sit in the owner's corner. But if I'm riding with any woman, I sit behind the driver. I put her in the owner's corner. There's a science behind it. That's the safest part of the car in any accident.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow.
The place that least gets destroyed in an accident
is the owner's corner.
Is the so-called owner's corner.
Are you serious?
I grew up watching Hollywood movies, and I would wonder why the man will sit behind the driver more often than not, and his lady is here. The moment the internet came and we could Google stuff, it was one of the very first things I asked Google. And
so that comes back to what Banky said.
Owner's corner don't change.
Baba, this one, please. Take your right.
Yeah. But now it comes back to what he's saying that we are supposed to lay down our lives.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I even had to teach my wife.
That is interesting. I even
had to teach my wife that,
to be honest.
This
so meanwhile, say, if I ride with you, you know go won't save my life.
You be guy like me in my car, I will sit in my car. But it's like walking on the road.
You put them on the inside.
You put your lady on the inside, on the sidewalk, while you face the cars.
Absolutely.
By default.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah,
fair
that's
point.
it.
So we need to wrap up.
Okay.
Because where do we put kids? Because when they strap them, is it
their seats and in that place actually? First choice is that same owner's corner on their seats.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Now I understand it.
We need to wrap it up. But you said something.
I don't know what today.
You said something now that I actually was going to touch on, and I just want to get that final thought from you guys, because all of this talk about the woman being in charge or not, you know, in the scenario where a lot of people seem comfortable, whether your wife out-earns you, as long as you've said there's love, there's respect, it doesn't matter. Then we go to the friends dynamic now. Like you said, some of your friends, they criticize you. There are people who are okay with it, but society doesn't let you can't express or defend the fact that you are not the breadwinner in your home. Sometimes like your guys, they
will cast you.
You know, and I don't know how the mentality shift is what I'm trying to get at. If as a wrap up to our fellow men,
listen
about how because the world is changing, you're naturally going to meet more women now who earn more than you. The possibility of that happening is, but we're still in the space where it's almost emasculating, or it takes away from your masculinity. Now woman, But I want us to wrap up with that, if anybody has any thoughts.
And this is my own thing is, you've gone into a union with someone, there's really nothing to be ashamed of. I think the issue is always that ego thing when you think, okay, maybe what are you worried about? It's two of you. What's the concern of anybody else? How do you think about what is the dynamics of a family? As long as you can do things and you know that it works for both of you, to be honest, I think the issue is you're married and then the dynamics that doesn't work with what the society thinks. Most of the time, when you let the society dictate what happens in your home, that's going to be a problem. The fact is, if now you carry baby and you are fine with it, I don't know, like I said, you carry baby, you are fine. You change diapers and they're fine, and you both are fine with it. I think that's all that matters for me.
Lion not the born goat.
Yeah.
But goats they born lion.
Normal level.
That's the first time.
So I mean, there's nothing to be. I think it's that
You
idea
understand?
of there's nothing to be ashamed of. And the thing, like I said, being logical means that it doesn't even have to be that okay, maybe you're the one bringing. There are times that you can just move people in the right direction. I mean, and as, like I said, it's all respect and acceptance. That's it. For me.
Okay. On that note, you have something to say?
No,
We can just close. Thank you.
I mean, I felt like it was an interesting conversation. We've dissected a lot of the things I wanted us to touch.
Right.
Maybe I've learned a little on what this submission thing is, but I mean, I guess you guys should let us know in the comments. What did you come to this video knowing, or what was your perception coming in, and what have you learned differently after watching this? So just let us know in the comments and share with your friends as well. And I think we all learned the importance of the owner's corner most importantly.
And what else? And what else would you like us to talk about? Tell us.
Exactly.
So
What
that we
other
can have more
topics
conversations.
with men would you like to talk about? Drag the people you need to drag, but don't drag me. Thanks a lot. It's mentality with Ebuka. Let's cheers. Your drink don't finish, but we'll go see cheers with them.
That's all about love.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
I'm the only real person.
Nice one.
You've been tuned into Mentality with me, Ebuka, and my co-host, Banky W. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please make sure to rate, review, and follow Mentality with Ebuka wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time.